Hey everybody, this is the local newspaper here in Morganton, North Carolina. Actually a nice little paper. I really enjoy reading it. But there's an article today in it about SUV hauling a 20-foot camper flips on I-40 just outside Morganton. Now you know I-40 goes around the whole country. It goes all the way from North Carolina all the way out to Barstow, California or something like that. Anyway, somewhere like that. I forget. Somewhere in California. So anyway, it's Big Long Road. Big Long Road. So anyway, so a local man had borrowed his wife's brand new car that she got for a present. Okay, somebody gave it to her as a present, a big, beautiful SUV there, and was going to pick up a camper, and he was going to use the camper not to camp in, but to use it for storage on their property. So he manages to get onto Interstate 40 there. And about 11:25 a.m. yesterday, which was, the 10th of March, he lost control of it. He was out of the lane. I don't know. Something happened, and it flipped over and blocked both of the lanes of the eastbound traffic on I-40 for 45 minutes. No injuries, but I think his pride was maybe injured, and he had a little explaining to do to his wife there. He was charged, his name is Roy Cook, 63. 63. Of Hildebrand, which is not far from Morganton, and he was charged with a failure to maintain lane control. So anyway, I don't know, man. Be careful when you're driving out. It was a little windy yesterday, you know. It was a little windy, and maybe the wind kind of blew the trailer around a little bit, and I don't know. Hey, we're getting some news reports here at the Camo Dave News Army Central here in western North Carolina that a certain female nomad there in southwestern Arizona was driving her ATV around the other day and did some sort of a rollover on it, and no serious injuries, but there were some minor injuries, and she was wearing a neck brace. At least some people were seeing her with that. So anyway, we do not want to report any names yet until we can get some multiple confirmations on that story. If you know more, let me know in the Camo Dave comments down below, okay? And we'll let you know if we hear any more. But no names just yet until we get some more confirmation on it. Baby, look at this. Here's Dave's RV life there up in Pennsylvania. Now, he had to get his, he got an old van. It's an older kind of, van. And, in order to register it in the state Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, it's a Commonwealth, not a state, it's both, but Commonwealth. He had to get what they call a smog test or an emissions test or whatever they call it. In most metro areas around the United States, you have to get the emissions test done every year or two, okay? I remember when I lived in the D.C. area, all the suburban counties and urban counties around D.C. had to get the emissions tests along with your state safety inspections or whatever. When you live out in the rural areas like here in beautiful Morganton, North Carolina, you don't have to worry about it. The thing that was puzzling Dave the most is that there's like a real specific type of vehicles that need to have these smog tests. It's certain, if you're above or below a certain weight, you don't have to get them, and he was just right in the gap there where he did have to get it. And somebody, I guess the previous owner, had lived in the next county over where you didn't need to have the smog tests, and took off the catalytic converter, and that caused his smog test to fail, etc., etc. He's pretty PO'd about it. And kind of the dopey laws. Why does people living on one side of the little county line have to get these dopey tests, and people living on the other side of the county line don't have to do it at all? I don't know. So anyway, yeah. So Dave was not too happy about that. But I don't know, man. Shuttle Babe Beach Cricket found some desert turtles at Dome Rock. Ooh! Van camping. Woody's doing some free primitive camping down at Apalachicola National Forest, which, as we all know, is right near Tallahassee, Florida. That's right. Mr. and Mrs. Adventure. Camping in a minivan, spending the night in the back of a minivan there in Pinnacles National Park, which is apparently one of the newest national parks. It's there in Central California. So, it was okay. It was okay. They did it. Minivan camping, and they survived it. And yeah, yeah, it didn't look that crowded. Well, they're using a wide-angle lens too, so it does make everything look kind of bigger, doesn't it? Anyway, great video there from Mr. and Mrs. Adventure. The ex-Paulers, there's the British couple that's down in Spain. Things will never be the same again in van life. You know, that could very well be true. It never will be the same again after this crazy pandemic year and whatever, year and a half, whatever. I don't know. Survival Russia there, the Swedish guy that lives in Russia there, it's very, very cold. Russia's had a very cold and at least the Moscow area in eastern Russia has had or western Russia, western Russia around Moscow has had a very cold and a very, very snowy winter, and he wants some global warming to heat things up. Also got a very nice video here from Adventurous Way, hooking up the trailer when everything is frozen. Yeah, that's a good point. You know, how do you handle things when everything's really frozen? You got to move stuff around and everything. So, nice channel there, Adventurous Way. Check it out. Good video, yeah. Channel, a new video every Thursday. Let's do some letters. We were talking. I did a little video earlier today about potential rivalries among some of the nomads. We were getting some reports that. Well, we got some reports that Van City Van Life did a live chat, and there were some comments about Foresty Forest that were being taken down. You know, and you know, they're both Canadians. They both have very successful YouTube channels, and there was some concern that, you know, is there something going on between them, like even a minor rivalry or something? Joe Schneider says the only one worth watching anymore is Foresty Forest. Chrome Van City Van Life is trying to be Foresty Forest with the drone scenery shots, but until he starts climbing mountains and giving recipes... And no, warming up a frozen burrito in a frying pan is not a recipe. You can't hold a candle to Foresty First. Well, I think I said that in my rant. Their channels are quite different. They have a whole different take on the nomadic life. And, you know, I think Chrome is trying to be more of a general channel, like, you know, behind the psychology and the technology of living on the road, whereas Foresty First just kind of doing his own thing. You know, very different takes on it, and to be honest with you, I enjoy watching both of them. Yeah, when I was also doing that afternoon video today about walking through the woods, M-Trade says, careful, walking through the woods there, you could possibly run into Steve Wallace. Yeah, Steve Wallace needs to come down and come down to North Carolina here and camp out by the Catawba River, and I'll run into you. Steve Wallace! How'd you get down here from Canada? How'd you get across the border? We were talking about how there are just so many live streams on YouTube. You know, I do subscribe to a lot of channels, and some nights I'm looking there at 7 or 8 o'clock at night, and there's 10 live streams going, and they're not just, you know, half an hour or an hour. They're like 3, 4, 5 hours. Terry B says live streams from any YouTube channel, they're just a fad. It now only works to hook in the very lonely or very bored. For a short announcement or whatever, it may make sense, but 99% of the time, live streams are just some so-and-so YouTuber who wants to hear himself or herself talk. JN said, his name is Zia Marshall. It's a shame people call him Elvis. Plus, there is only one Elvis. I guess that's Elvis Costello, right? Oh, no. Oh, you mean Elvis Presley. Never mind. Plus, the name of his channel has changed. So, yeah, he's no longer Elvis. He's now Zia. We're going to start calling Elvis Travels Zia. And he's now, what is he called? Chicago Nomadic Guy or whatever. It's Nomadic Chicagoan or Enigmatic Not. What is his channel name? Nomadic Chicagoan or Chicagoite or I don't know. What do you call someone from Chicago? Hey, Fred! Patty White says, Wandering Jimmy can make really relaxing videos with beautiful scenery. And I do like his videos. He does a nice job. Sometimes when I'm in the mood just to kind of relax, I'll watch a Wandering Jimmy video. Travels from Doodah says, pit bulls do pull. I have never filmed what our dog Trouble does during a long trip. He has anxiety while traveling in our van, and if he is not in his kennel, he tries to get under our feet while driving the van. You know, I did walk a pit bull for like a month, a year and a half when I was up there in Springfield, Virginia. And they are strong dogs. They are very strong, and they pull. Ooh, it's like my arm's like being pulled out of its socket. And I did find myself having much more kind of back and arm pain because that dog, you know, they're nice dogs, but it's like, Tanky Poo, stop pulling. They see a squirrel and you rip your arm off as they chase it down the street. We're saying that because the Campulence man was talking about how he was having severe problems down on his right side down by his hip. And that was after he stepped up into his ambulance there, which he lives in. And I was saying, he's got a beautiful pit bull named Lefty there. And, that can pull those muscles out. Those doggies can do that. I was telling everybody that I saw Patrick Stewart once when I was walking through D.C., Mr. Jean-Luc Picard there on Star Trek Next Generation, etc. And his brand new Picard show on, what's it called, Paramount Plus now. It used to be CBS All Access. Anyway, so all these people are telling me who famous people they've met. CVB says we saw Dan Blocker, remember Bonanza? At Disneyland when CVB was very young. Mr. Blocker was eating pancakes. Oh. Kevin Cole says, I walked into two people quite different. In Soho, London, I turned a corner and straight into Christopher Lee of horror movie fame. In Knott's Berry Farm, California, I walked into Gerald Ford, the former president. Holy cow. The Secret Service on each side of him looked and ignored me. Tina Robinson said, your description of, even after all this time, my toilet is still a bucket as a t-shirt made me laugh. Or, something like, proud to poop in a bucket. Rock on, nomads, van life nomads. Larry Morris says a guy has to make a buck for an honest day's work like Dave. Fair is fair, and those t-shirts are a square deal for the price, yeah. If you want more on the Camo Dave t-shirts, we'll be talking about them on my Saturday show, which is every Saturday morning at 9:30 a.m. We'll talk more about the t-shirts. I got some t-shirts, more 2XL shirts, and we'll make some more t-shirts, and we'll get some stuff in the mail. So we're doing that. So, but it's just it's just some fun. And finally, Linda Smith says, I would have never found Eric and Jax. Who are they? I thought it was Derek and Jinx. Oh, wait, it's Eric and Jax, if it was not for you. He's cutting off his best advertiser when he cuts you off. I don't know, man. I don't know. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. You all have a wonderful rest of your Thursday, and I will chat with you later. It is the 11th of March, 2021. Plug under.